Good morning. I have 9 o'clock, so we will get started with class. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And today's session will just focus on kind of stretching from head to toe. So um, that doesn't mean that they'll be necessarily easy. You still got to respect your flexibility limits and things like that. But it'll give you hopefully a nice feeling of kind of openness and energy flowing easily through your body. If you haven't done much yet this morning, then you may feel a little stiffer and just again be kind of careful with how far you move into the pose. This could be a great little series to do in the evening because it is more of a calming series, and having moved, assuming you move a bit during the day, your muscles can be a little bit warmer, more pliable, and the poses may go a little deeper for you. So to begin, let's, as we always do, start with setting an intention and just getting ourselves present. So finding your aligned spine with any seated position supported by a block or not, hands relaxed wherever you like. Maybe first just check if you're leaning forward like I am. Just bring yourself back so shoulders are lined up over hips. Heart is open, but you're not squeezing the shoulder blades together. They're nice and broad on both sides of your torso. Shoulders sinking towards the earth as the neck lengthens, drawing your chin in just a bit to align ears over the shoulders from the side view. Either closing your eyes or just softening your gaze. Bring your attention to the very base of your spine, right at the tip of your tailbone. As you inhale, just imagine that the breath is traveling up the length of your spine, all the way through the neck and out through the crown of your head. And that as you exhale, a cool flow of energy comes back down through the head, the neck, and flows gently down the length of your spine, all the way to the base and tip of your tailbone. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, if that's comfortable for you. You need to follow that visualization, but maybe as you inhale, think about drawing up like a nice round blue marble from the base of your spine, and watch it travel all the way up to the spine, the neck, crown of the head, and just above the crown of your head. It releases a cool blue flow of energizing, kind of like water, a little bit of waterfall of cooling energy, calming energy back down, like a gentle waterfall to the tip of your tailbone. Begin to set an intention for your practice today. It could be something as simple as calmness. And to seal that intention, gently bring your palms together at heart center. Draw the chin in and down as you lengthen the back of your neck. Bringing your head back up to a neutral position and softly opening your eyes if they were closed. Staying right here as you inhale and interlace the fingers, lengthening a little bit more through your spine. And as you exhale, press the palms out, round the back, draw the head down. Inhale again, reach up with the arms, lining biceps with ears. And exhale, release the hands all the way around behind your back. Interlace the fingers, straighten the elbows. If you can, lift the pinkies toward the sky as well as your gaze. And as you exhale, you could stay there or fold forward, letting the arms come overhead, crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale, let the arms help you back up to neutral. And exhale, hands back to heart center. Adding a little something different. Inhale, interlace the fingers the opposite way that you had them as you lengthen. Exhale, press the palms out, round the back, draw the belly in. Inhale, reach up towards the sky, pinkies pull back. We're gonna twist to the left. So as you exhale, left hand comes behind you, right hand outside the knee. Next inhalation allows you to lengthen, open up through the collarbones, and exhale as you gently twist to the left. Inhale, bring the arms overhead as you bring your body back to neutral. Exhale as you twist to the right, right hand behind you, left side, left hand outside the thigh. Another inhale, collarbones are level and parallel with the floor. And your exhale allows you to move into that twist using the hands. Twist this without straining or holding your breath. Next inhale, arms come overhead, body back to neutral. We're gonna just side bend to the left. So the left hand down, right hand reaches up and continues lengthening to open up that right side. You can gaze down at the floor and relax the left shoulder. So even when I'm not saying to breathe, make sure that you are breathing. An inhale brings you back up as you switch. And exhale, slightly bending into that right elbow, lengthening through the left. Keep that left sit bone down and you can turn your gaze towards the mat, keeping space between left shoulder and left ear as well as the right. Inhale, come back to center with left arm up. Exhale, hand comes down. And transitioning into hands and knees with the toes tucked under, outer ankles lifting, and just checking your alignment points here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone into cow. And exhale, reverse it. Upper back towards the sky, gazing towards the thighs. And continue a couple of more times back and forth. Feel free to pause at the end range of each, holding that breath. Again, just what works for you, never straining. Come back to your neutral position. And we're gonna walk the hands back. If you can sit on your heels with your toes tucked under. And if you need your hands on a block for a little extra support, feel free to use that. And we're just gonna sit here just for a moment, just bring in some energy and stretch into the toes. I'm gonna turn and face you just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna just kind of add a neck stretch here to distract us from this stretch. So bring your left hand behind you and you're gonna bend the elbows so the forearm is at your low back. And you're gonna use your right hand, you're gonna interlace the fingers here on the right side. And then you're just gonna allow the right ear to drop down towards the right shoulder, stretching the left side of your neck. You're gonna bring it more to your upper traps, bring your chin towards your chest, and rotate your gaze to the floor just beyond outside the right thigh. Bring your head up to a neutral position, and we'll switch. So just bring the forearm of the right arm to the low back, and you can switch to interlacing, and drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. And energetically think about bringing your right elbow towards the earth a bit to increase the intensity of the stretch if you need it. To move to upper trap muscle, bring the chin in, rotate your gaze to the outside of your left thigh on the floor, tucking the chin. And bring your head back up to neutral position. Interlace the fingers behind you. And exhale, hands to heart center. I'm gonna move back around and we'll go into puppy dog. So toes stay tucked under still just for a little bit longer, but you'll start to maybe feel some energy dissipating as you bring your fingertips forward, allowing your chest and chin to drop towards the earth, keeping the hips stacked over the knees. And it may be useful to kind of inhale, come out of it, and exhale, sink a little deeper each time you breathe. Inhale out of it. Exhale, see if you go a centimeter deeper. And then just hold there as you breathe in and out, noticing where you feel it as you keep energy pressing down through each fingertip. As you inhale, press through the fingertips, bring the chest away from the earth, and walk the hands back underneath your shoulders as we move into stretching through the back of the shoulders and upper back. Inhale, lift that left arm up to the sky. You can untuck the toes now if you'd like. And exhale, slide the arm behind the right, bringing the shoulder and upper arm to the mat as well as the left side of your head. As always, options for that right arm. You may enjoy walking it forward. You may want to lift it up to the sky and wrap it around the back, seeing if you can find the front of your left thigh. Breathe into the space you're creating in the back of the left shoulder, around that left shoulder blade. And then reach the right arm back to the sky if it was there. And everyone place it bent elbow on the mat to help bring you back up as you open to the sky once more and bring that hand to the earth. For the other side, inhale, lift the right hand up. Exhale, take the arm behind the left wrist, upper arm and shoulder to the floor, walking the left hand forward. I hope you don't hear the noise I hear. There's a blower outside. And then reach the left arm to the sky if you'd like to, and take it around behind you, finding the front of your right thigh. Inhale, reaching back up. Exhale, hand to the mat as you press yourself up, reaching the right arm back to the sky, and exhale to the mat. Great. From here, we're gonna just tuck the toes under, gentle downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. Keep the heels high, knees bent, allowing the chest to sink towards the thighs. And then if you want to pedal it out a couple of times back and forth. And then a static downward facing dog. Checking back as you look back at your heels that they are hidden behind the toes, so the outer edges of your feet parallel to each other. Shoulders relaxed, broad across the upper back. Bring yourself forward into plank, and then bring the knees down and lower yourself all the way down to the mat. I'm going to focus now on the front of the shoulder and chest. Begin by extending your right arm out, straight out to the side. I'll show you with my left. So it's just like a straight out from the shoulder, 90-degree angle from your body, but we're gonna do the right arm. And then you can start to press into your left hand as you roll to the front of that shoulder. If you want to add some intensity, go ahead and bend your left knee and place that foot behind your right leg on the mat. And just keep your head in a neutral position so it's not dropping too low or lifting too high. And you should feel that not on your bone of the right shoulder, you should be in front of it, kind of your pec muscles is where you should feel this stretch. Nice. Go ahead and roll back to center. AirPod keeps falling out. Sorry. And we'll switch to the other side. So left arm extends straight out, finger spread, palm down. Right hand bent near your chest as you start to roll over, landing in front of your left shoulder, and add intensity by placing the right foot behind. Notice where you are feeling the stretch. If your head feels like it does need support, you could use a block, a bolster, a blanket to support it, especially if later you decide to do this stretch again and want to stay there for a while. Coming back to your stomach. Come to your forearms. Untuck the toes and lift those outer ankles. And then we're going to just twist over and look over the left shoulder. You may even want to take your hand to the side to give a little bit of a deeper stretch, but trying to keep the pelvis down. And then switch sides. Good. While on the forearms, bring your right forearm parallel to the front edge of your mat. As you bend the left knee, reach back for the top of that foot. And try to keep the thigh right where it would be for Tadasana, so not out to the side. And then you can bring the heel down towards your glute and slide the hand so that the heel of your hand comes over the toes and the fingers point towards that crease at the base of your foot. And if your knee is healthy and it feels like you need it without pain, you can bring that heel slightly to the side, the outside of that hip. Bringing the hand to the toes like I have mine, you can kind of encourage a little bit more of a toe stretch and ankle stretch. Keep lengthening your tailbone towards the back edge of your mat, almost towards the floor at the back edge of your mat, so that you're not feeling this more in your back. And then you can release that leg. We're going to switch to the other side. So left forearm down, right hand reaches back, find the top of your foot. And then if you want to switch it around so that the heel of your hand is on the toes, you can start bringing the heel down towards your glute. Or maybe slightly outside the glute. Keep your breath even and slow. Your mind and body will follow the rate of the breath. So slow and deep breath result in calm mind, slow moving body, less tension. Gently release that leg back to the mat. Hands underneath the shoulders as you press up into hands and knees. And then take the knees about the width of your mat and the feet, careful with your knees here, slightly out. If you need extra support under the knees or you want to go wider, the floor can be uncomfortable. So I'm going to keep mine on it, but I may normally want to go a little wider. And you can walk the hands forward and just kind of shift the hips back and down, trying to get a little bit of an inner thigh stretch, but it just depends on kind of where you are already. Wider may be necessary. And take the feet out a little bit more as long as you don't feel any pain in those knees. And then press yourself back up. Return to a normal hands and knees position. Lift the right leg straight up behind you. And as you exhale, bring it to your chest. Inhale, reach it behind you. And exhale, bring it to the outside of your right hand. Always checking to have knee lined up over ankle. Tuck the toes under on your back left leg and scoot the knee back so you're more above the knee rather than on the knee. And then release the top of the foot back to the mat. You may already feel a little bit of a stretch around that right hip joint. But if you'd like to, and you need deeper, you can start to bend the elbows and maybe even bring the forearms down. And then soften the shoulders. You can relax your head fully, relax your face. If you feel any pain in the knee, you could always angle those toes on your right foot slightly out to the right. And then lift the head, press up onto the hands. And you can bring that right foot back and come back to hands and knees. For the other side, lift the left leg behind you. Exhale, bring knee to chest. Inhale, reach behind you. And exhale, step it to the outside of your left hand. Tuck the toes under on the right foot and scoot that knee back. That just gives a little extra space that will help with the stretch. And then relax the top of the foot down. Stay here for a breath or two. And if you'd like to go deeper, start to bend into the elbows. And again, option of taking the toes on that left foot and angling out slightly if you feel that differently, better, whatever you need to stay stretching, but comfortable with your breath, still flowing in and out. Relax your jaw, relax your fingers. Lift your head, press into the hands. We're going to go into pigeon pose from here, but which is this pose in a moment. If that's too much for you, you can come onto your back and do thread the needle pose instead. We'll be starting with the left leg. So if you're following me, then you start walking the left foot over to the left. Keep the ankle bent and start to slide your right leg straight behind you. The angle of your shin to the front edge of your mat depends on your flexibility and your knee. So the more of an angle, the more bent it is, probably the easier it is on your knee. But if you're not feeling it at all in your hip, your glute or your hamstring area, then you can move the foot a little closer towards the front edge. Just be super sensitive and mindful of your left knee. You don't want any pain there. And if you do, you can always go onto your back into the thread the needle pose. Just kind of slowly use your breath to guide you, gradually going deeper into the pose. Just observe sensations, location, maybe ultimately either resting your head on your forearms Bring the palms together and rest the very top of your forehead or the crown of your head onto the mat. Option of reaching the arms even farther out, but keep the shoulders relaxed. Right leg is straight behind you. You're not rolling over to one side or the other. Deep, full breaths, relaxing the eyelids, the jaw, the tongue. Feeling the emotional release around the left glute and hip area. See what comes up. Begin to lift your head, walk the hands back in. If you're on your back, just preparing for the other side. Maybe tuck the toes under on the right foot to lift that knee. We'll just come back to hands and knee. If you're on your back, straighten both legs out for a moment. Otherwise, you can just bring that left leg straight behind you a couple of times to dissipate the energy release. And then we're going to switch sides. So this time, your right leg in front. Again, ankle is bent. Side of the shin is on the mat. As you start to slide your left leg back. Again, notice I'm not rolling over, staying on top. Just going gradually. You can always support, in this case, the right hip with pillows or blankets, and I'm keeping the bend of my ankle. Just slowly and mindfully sink into your final expression of the pose. The back foot is in behind you. Make sure it's not sickling. Top of the foot is down. And then begin to relax through the legs as you sink into the stretch. Bring your attention over to that right side, that right hip. Noticing location of sensations. And how that maybe changes as we continue here for a few more breaths. And to lift your head, walk the hands in. If it'll allow you to face the mirror, you can just now kind of roll over onto that back hip and bring yourself around to a seated stride. Legs are wide, but don't want a rounded back. So maybe use your fists to help you lift up as you bring the tops of the feet towards you, knees straight up or slightly back. And maybe that's enough of a stretch for you. If not, you're not feeling it in the inner thighs yet, you can bring the hands in front, checking that you don't suddenly round the low back. You don't want to droop. And you can begin to walk the hands forward. As before, maybe inhale, come out of it. And then exhale, sink in a little bit more each time. Check that your knees and toes are still towards the sky or maybe even slightly back, not relaxed and rolling forward. Soften through the shoulders, open through the chest and heart area. Depth of the pose is less important than alignment of the pose and staying with your breath. That will allow you over time and consistency to go deeper. Otherwise, you just kind of fall into old patterns and won't get the stretch or the effects where they're meant to be. Full deep breath, checking back with the intention that you set. And to lift your head, walk the hands back in, bring the legs around in front, and then bend the knees to keeping the feet hip width apart. Knees to the sky, hands behind you. And as you press through the hands, just lift the hips up into tabletop to stretch out those hip creases, the hip flexors. A little bit of bicep stretch you may feel. And then release back to the mat. Find those sit bones, bring the heels in super close. And then open the knees to the side, soles of the feet together. You need to support the knees with your hands or blocks or blankets. And then kind of open your feet like you're reading a book. The bottoms of your feet are opposite sides, opposite pages. Lengthen through the torso, shoulders down and back, and hinging at the hips again, not rounding because you'll miss the point of the pose. Lengthen through the low back and hinge at the hip creases forward, keeping your spine aligned. So chest towards the floor, belly towards the feet. Careful with your knees. Inhale creates length. Exhale allows you to go farther. For example, because my left knee has a torn meniscus, I'm not going to go as far. I'm going to stay super mindful of how that left knee feels. That's more important. As you inhale, bring yourself back up to neutral. And now slide the heels away from you so you're more like a diamond shape. And this time we are going to round the back. You can either keep the hands on top near the feet or slide them under as you just round. So the crown of my head going towards the arches of my feet. And then just breathe into space that you're creating through the spine, through the hips. Breathe into the low back. Lift your head and come back. Bring the knees together. I'm going to come down onto our back, but if you do have a block handy, you can watch me first. There's a supported bridge pose that you may enjoy. Otherwise, you'll skip this pose and just hold bridge for a moment before going to the next. But so as you know, bridge pose is like this. If you have a block, I like to lift on my tippy toes first so I can get the block long ways under my sacrum. Some of you may prefer the shorter edge. But once you have it in place, should feel good. You can walk the feet out a little bit so they're back underneath the ankles. Draw the shoulder blades together. So roll the upper arms away from each other, chin away from chest. And this can be a nice supportive position. So all of this should be on our back now. Heels comfortable distance away. And if you want to just do a regular bridge, you'll lift up, maybe interlace the fingers underneath. Otherwise, you can use that block underneath. In all cases, the outer edges of the feet are parallel. The knees and thighs and shins are all in line, not splaying out to the side. Heart is open. Chin away from chest, pressing the back of the head into the earth, as well as the length of the arms and all four corners of each foot. If you had that block, you may need to lift to the tippy toes again to remove it out to the side. And then all of us can roll the arms out and release one vertebrae at a time back to the mat. Take the knees into your chest. Keep the legs together, knees still bent, but far enough away that you can place your hands on top of the knees. Thighs are glued together. And just use your hands to make circles on the ceiling with your knees. 4 times one way, and then the other. Just massaging those regions around the sacrum and low back. And then stop back at that neutral position and bring the feet to the back. Open the arms out to the side. And you can twist with the knees down, but first we're just gonna do a couple of windshield wipers side to side. And move into a spinal twist. I like to bring my knees up first, but that's up to you. Knees to the left. Lift up the shoulder blades, scoot the left shoulder blade over to the left as you gaze to the right, and allow that right shoulder blade and length of your arm to melt into the earth. Maybe even use the left hand to add a little extra pressure on the legs. You need a deeper twist. Breathing in and out. Release the legs, bring the knees back to center, and maybe bring the feet down to realign first. And then you'll switch to the other side and make your adjustments for a nice deep stretch as you breathe. Releasing the leg, come back to neutral, readjust. I'm going to sit up. You don't necessarily need to, but if you happen to have a bolster, you could do a shavasana after this class. I want to just show you how this can be used for blankets. So laying the length of your back and your head on it with your arms out to the side, that just gives a nice additional stretch to the upper chest region. You can bring the arms down a little bit, but I like them out. Legs will still be their usual shavasana position. I just want to show you this option. Okay. So take a moment wherever you are on your back, legs straight out. Maybe stretch the arms long, feet long. And then release the arms by your side. If you have space in your day to just move right into Shavasana, you can go ahead and mute me and move into your own Shavasana. If you need to finish at 9:40, go ahead and bend your knees. Roll over onto your side and press back up to your seated position. Getting back to where you started the class. Getting back to the length of your breath and the intention you set. Observing any changes, your body, mind, state of your breath. And just let that melt into a energy of gratitude. Gratitude for making the space and time for self-care, filling up your own cup so that you can pour yourself, your heart out to others throughout the day. I know I'm grateful for your time and energy as well. If you'd like to, hands together at heart center, and gently opening the eyes.